Hello everybody and welcome back for the weekly VR news. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today's video is all about the VR games because we have 2 exciting titles releasing this week, 5 brand new games were recently announced, there's release date information for 4 highly anticipated titles dropping this year, and finally, it looks like HTC is entering the smart glass arena. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead. But let's start this video off like normal with the check-in, and that's what have I been up to in the VR world? Well, I actually just got back from vacation. So besides putting on my headset and playing a bunch of games that I haven't had time to get to, there's not much to report. I did throw a bunch of people into the game we're working on at Noetic Realms. So I got to have my family test the game, which was very exciting. I can't wait to show you guys more on that. I know people are asking for concept art, footage, gameplay. It's coming. Right now, our focus is mechanics. We want the game to feel amazing. So we don't want to show off anything too early. That's it. That's the story. But for now, since there's so many games to go over in today's video, let's just get to it with this week's new releases. First up is the absolutely incredible Into Black, making its way onto PC VR and the PlayStation VR 2. This action-adventure, story-driven role-playing title previously released on the Meta Quest almost a year ago and since then has received rave reviews. It's developed by the Binary Mill, the same studio that gave us the high-flying adventure Resist, and now they've one-upped themselves with a title that's fully playable in both single-player and 4-person multiplayer. Gameplay-wise, it feels a bit like Deep Rock Galactic with more of a story-driven experience. I highly recommend this game, and I can't wait to see it in its full glory on both PC VR and the PlayStation VR 2. But if that doesn't sound like your style and you're looking for more of a tabletop strategy game, we have Banners and Bastions. Utilizing both mixed reality and hand tracking, you'll have to continually defend your kingdom from upcoming assaults. This involves everything from building up your farmland to have more resources, strategically placing defenses, and training some units like spearmen and rangers. Now, even though I prefer my games more on the mature side, I'm a complete sucker for these strategy games, and if you'd like to see me cover this title, please let me know down in the comments right now. Now, unfortunately, that's all the new games releasing this week, but luckily we have a ton of new game announcements to go over, starting with Heroes Together. This is a co-op roguelite dungeon crawler where you and up to 3 buddies go on some epic fantasy adventures. An alpha version with 3-person co-op was recently showcased at Gamescom, and it's reminding me a bit of the old school dungeon crawler Carnage Chronicles, which I absolutely loved. Currently, it's planning to release in 2026 for the Quest 3 and Steam VR, so I'll keep an eye on this one because it's right up my alley. Now, another exciting announcement is we are getting a VR version of The Signal Stranded on Cyrenus. This is a story-driven survival game where you crash land on a mysterious alien world while trying to find your lost brother. In typical survival fashion, you need to scavenge for resources, craft tools, and upgrade your gear. Additionally, there's a series of strange ruins and crash sites scattered throughout the planet, which will help slowly reveal the game's storyline. So if it looks like you're into something like No Man's Sky, this game should definitely be your style. Now, continuing with those new announcements, we're getting a story-driven horror-themed Star Trek experience. Star Trek Infection is dropping later this year on both the Meta Quest and Steam VR, and surprisingly, it's bringing a mature 17+ rating. Taking on the role of a Vulcan Starfleet officer, you'll find yourself seemingly alone on the USS Lumen that has been overrun by a mysterious infection. Hopefully that renowned Vulcan composure will hold as you find yourself trapped in the psychological and physical nightmare. Now, I get a little bit of Deep Space vibes here, even more like the classic VR title, The Persistence, which I absolutely loved. Now, I'm actually a huge Trekkie, so I can't wait to try this one out. Now, sticking with the horror genre, we also got an announcement for Dread Meridian. Once again, you'll be looking for a lost relative, this time your sister, and of course things will quickly spiral into madness as you travel across a frozen island. Additionally, you need to scavenge for resources, solve cryptic puzzles, and battle against unimaginable creatures. Unfortunately though, the cinematic trailer isn't showing off too much just yet, but I will say that sounds pretty damn awesome. Now, this is also coming from Kirkar Game, a name you most likely don't recognize, but years ago they made a PC VR game that I absolutely loved called Silicon Rising. Now, if you remember that classic hidden gem, please let me know down in the comments right now. But let's lighten up these new announcements with Super RC Races. The developers of the beloved Ultra Wings are planning to deliver the ultimate remote control car experience. Here you'll unbox and assemble your own remote control car, create the track of your dreams with the built-in level editor, and then race against your friends with up to 8-person online multiplayer. There's also a sandbox mode where you could just jump in with some buddies and have a good time. And this is also available for the extremely low price of only $8. I'm gonna pick this one up for my 50-year-old brother who's also a man-child and still plays with real-life remote control cars, just so I could get his take on this application. But right now, let's move into new release dates on some highly anticipated games. Now, first up, along with a brand new trailer, we know that Marvel's Deadpool VR is planned to release this November. I previously tried a 30-minute demo and walked away quite excited, but I will say this new trailer looks so much better, showcasing both the main villains and tons of action that I'm yet to experience. So if you're looking for brutal, over-the-top, super fun action, I have no doubt that Deadpool will deliver. It will, of course, also piss off some of the gaming community, as this is once again another big blockbuster meta exclusive. So if you prefer a high-quality title that's available on all major VR platforms, we're getting Of Lies and Rain in just about 2 weeks on September 10th. This is a story-driven first-person shooter set in a dark, sci-fi, post-apocalyptic world. Battling at the edge of the real and digital world, you're fighting to prevent humanity's extinction. Now, graphically, this is reminding me a bit of Half-Life Alyx, which, as we know, cannot be a bad thing. Now, if you're using Steam VR, you can download a demo right now and find out if this game is right for you. Now, continuing with those highly anticipated games, the massive adventure title Reach, coming from the seasoned veterans at End Dreams, is only about a month and a half away, releasing in October. This action-adventure title is promising to be a groundbreaking cinematic experience, and for those of you who demand AAA quality in VR, this is going to be the game for you. There's fast-paced parkour-style movement, intuitive mechanics designed specifically for VR, and fast-paced adrenaline-inducing action. Currently, I have no doubt that Reach is going to deliver and fire on all cylinders, so let's hope we're looking at another Game of the Year contender. But if that's a bit too fast-paced for you and you're just looking for a beautiful, narrative-driven puzzle experience, well, look no further, because Syberia is releasing on November 13th. Now, this is actually a remake of the original game that released in 2002, and now you can experience it with completely reimagined puzzles and a brand new VR point of view. There's also a complete, flat remaster of this title coming, which definitely has me more excited because it ups the overall budget, and the original version of this game had very positive reviews. So if you're a VR puzzle fan, make sure to put this game on your wish list. And that right there completes today's game news. Like normal, if you ever have any additional questions or you want me to cover any of these titles, please let me know in the comments. But let's just round this video out with one last hardware story, and that's HTC entering the smart glass arena. The Vive Eagle is basically their take on the Meta Ray-Bans. There's a 12 megapixel camera for taking HDR photos, and you can capture 3 megapixel videos at 30 frames per second. There's also 32 gigabytes of storage, roughly 5 hours of battery life, and of course, we're also getting AI features with the Vive AI. Unfortunately though, in true HTC fashion, this looks like too little too late. It feels like they are always playing the catch-up game against Meta, and they end up delivering a product with lower specs and a higher price tag than what is currently available. Additionally, they are a hardware company, not a software company like Meta traditionally is. So not only does their hardware tend to lag behind, but even worse, so does their software. So if you couldn't tell already, I don't have high hopes for these glasses, but hopefully they prove me wrong and Meta gets some competition. And that right there was today's news video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And of course, stay tuned for my next video, which is going to be all about some huge games that are dropping soon.